Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Women's Maximum Fitness Podcast. My guest today is Ivie Rhein. Is that I was going to ask you how to pronounce your name. Is that how you pronounce it?
Okay, I'm from Brazil,
Yes.
and then in Brazil we say Ivie Rhein. But here everybody says like Ivy Rain, and that's okay, no
Yeah.
problem.
Well, I don't want to butcher your name. So, Ivie. Okay. Very good. You're from Brazil. So, where do you live now?
We live in Windermere, Florida.
Okay.
It's Orlando area here.
Uh-huh.
We moved it in December 2014,
Okay.
so a bit more than 6 years.
Nice. Do you get to go back to Brazil? Do you miss it?
Mm, I miss my family. I miss people, like, but I don't have plans to go back. To live there, no.
Okay.
I I just went to Brazil for 10 days, um, March.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but just to visit my family, not to live.
Okay. Is it just is it tougher living there or just so different?
Yeah, it's different. Like things that are crazy, too much corruption, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And here, like living here in Orlando area, it's a small city, so it's it's okay, it's quiet, not much traffic, it's safe. My
Yeah.
kids can walk by themselves, and that's not the thing in Brazil. You can have like an iPhone in Brazil, it's super dangerous. So that's one of the things that my husband and I decided to move here to United States because of the kids.
Yeah.
And like they were like, my son was 7 when we moved in, and my daughter was almost 10. So, and now they are like totally integrated here, like, so it doesn't make sense to go back there.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, you got to have a safe place for your family. I understand that too. It's just me and my daughter. And so that's something that's super important to me too, because yeah, that's everything. Your kids have to feel safe and you have to feel safe with them. So
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So usually my first question is, um, how you got started with bodybuilding and to give us a little bit of an athletic background. So, were there any sports that you played as a child? And did you grow up in Brazil?
Yes, I grew up in Brazil.
Okay.
I used to play like almost everything. Volleyball and handball. I love handball, swimming, dancing, like everything. I love all kind of sports. Then when I met my husband
Mhm.
in 2000, he used to be a bodybuilder in Brazil,
Okay.
and he works with that since then, like
Okay.
preparing people for competition and everything. We used to have a gym in Brazil. We had a gym for 10 years in Brazil. And but I never thought about competing. Like I just was like behind the scenes, seeing all the athletes training, and but not I used to say no, it's not for me.
Okay.
But then people used to tell me like, oh, you should compete, you would be good. And I said, oh no, it's not for me, it's not for me. In 2000, I think it was 2014, we went to California for vacation. We were at Gold's Gym in Venice training, and then Charles Glass came talk to me.
Oh yeah, he's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, and he asked me like, "Do you compete?" I said, "No." "Oh, but you should. You would be great." And I said, and he was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm Charles Glass." I was so like amazed that I was like, yeah, okay, nice to meet you. I should have tell him like, oh, of course I know who you are, but I was so like,
Yeah.
then I decided to compete to see if I
Yeah.
like it or not. Then I did my first show in 2015. Yeah, and then I
Oh
love it.
wow.
and then I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so you had been kind of training at the gym for a long time, even though you weren't, did your husband then kind of show you how to train?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Always. Of course, it became more serious. Like when I start competing, like we started training together, and
Yeah.
he really helping me during the training, not just guiding me, but pushing me during the training and everything. But yeah,
Yeah. So has he been your coach? Or are you working with, or have you been working with somebody else? Was he your coach the whole time?
no, I have other coach. Yeah, it's
Okay.
because it's hard, like being a couple,
Yeah.
like prepping and living the life and
Yeah.
kids and job and
Yeah.
everything. I think it's just too much.
Yeah.
And I think it's good like having a third person like
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Kind of separates it. But it's nice to have him working with you kind of with the training aspect to make sure that, and that kind of pushes you, I bet, too, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do your kids think about this? Do they feel like they have a famous mom or
It's like my daughters used to say like, oh, it's weird. Like when people like example the Olympia, the people came and want to take pictures, or when
yeah,
some people send messages like asking for pictures or things like that. I said, oh, mom, it's weird. It's like for them, they're really proud. And I know that like they get so happy, like um, with me and proud, but like, mm, I don't know, like if they think that I'm famous. I don't feel famous, to be honest. Like
you
it's
don't
not
think
like how I feel.
that's so funny. So for those who don't know, Evie is made top 5 in the Olympia this past year, which was really, really great. A, just a beautiful physique, complete. That's what I love when I look. It's very impressive, and there's no flaws. There's no flaws. I was looking at your Instagram. So from 2015 to now, it's just, I mean, you started off really good. Like, it's not like some people where it's, they're like, it's kind of embarrassing how they, the first show was. But just solid amount of muscle added, especially your back really, really brought that up. But, yeah, it was so great. Um, so talk to us a little bit about your first show in 2015. Do you remember what your stage weight was then? Because you started off in women's physique, right?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that's the thing. When I decide like, okay, let's try it,
Mhm.
um, I thought that I could be a figure.
Okay.
So I was prepping to do a figure. And people was saying to me like, I don't know, figure, maybe you should do physics. I said, no, 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 I'm figure. I'm pretty sure I'm figure. I was like completely sure that I'm figure. Then 3 weeks before the show, I was at the gas station
Huh.
and I saw Jennifer Strobel.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Strobel.
Yeah. I look at her, look at me and said, no way, I have no chance. I'm double of her size. I can't. Like, then I remember that I called my husband and said, you know what? I can do figure. He told me, I told you, it's not, you shouldn't be figure. Said, okay, so let's switch. I'm going to do physique. Then I started practicing the posings and everything.
Yeah.
So, and I did great. I placed second on my first show. I love it. I think my weight was around hmm, one 123, 125, something like that. Yeah,
Really? Okay. How
yeah,
tall are you?
5'4".
Okay. Oh, so just about the same. That's funny. That's like what I was for my, and I think I was so tiny, you know? So, that's funny. So you didn't really. it wasn't like you didn't pick based on, you picked your, based off what you thought your physique looked like, not really what was your preference. Because I know when women's physique came out, I was like, oh, this is like, it's like women's bodybuilding, but a little bit more what looked like doable to me. And I
Mhm.
thought it was so beautiful. Not that figure isn't, it's just they're completely different, you know? Um, yeah. So you're so happy that you picked women's physique, I'm sure.
Yes, yes. And you know, I was struggling like practicing with the heels
Yes.
figure.
Everybody says it.
I had, oh my gosh, at least I don't need that heels. So it was good. Yeah.
It's almost like that's the deciding factor for some people.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna have to put on more muscle and become more conditioned because I can't handle these heels. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're tough. It's very tough. Um, so tell us about so you were trading through the pandemic, but you're in Florida, so you guys were better off than a lot of the country as far as lockdown goes. Did you have gym access the whole time?
When the lockdown started, like the quarantine, like I think it was March.
Yeah, March 15-ish.
Yeah. My husband and I, we bought some equipment to have at home.
Okay.
At the end, we set up like a really good gym here, like better than other gyms. Because we used to have a gym in Brazil and he knows a lot about equipment and everything. So
So
we have, we
what do
still
you
have, like I still usually do legs at home
Oh,
because
wow.
my equipments are better than the gyms here around here. So
So what
it's
do you have at home equipment wise for like for your legs?
okay. So my favorite is the hack squat, the
Yeah.
silence hack squat.
Yeah.
That one. I have the hammer strength hip press
Hammer
that I
strength.
love.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
like the hip thrust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And leg press. I have two leg press, two one Cybex, and another one I forgot. And extensions and like I have all good equipment for legs. So that's why I usually train here
Do you have a like a outback building or is it in the basement
in
or
the
what do you?
garage. Yeah, the cars stay out of garage. Yeah. Oh, and I have the E-Smith machine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. That's
So
so
then we start selling, like buying used equipment and putting on the garage and selling everything. So I never stopped training.
yeah.
I just I was just training here. Of course, now some days I go to the gym because it's nice to see people, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's good. Like seeing my friends, and I have a lot of friends at the gym too. So
Yeah, it is. It's like I always think about that too. Like I don't really talk to a lot of people at the gym, but it it is does feel social just being around them.
yeah, yeah.
So that's awesome. That's crazy. So are you training people out of your garage too, or no?
No,
Nobody else.
no, 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 no. During the lockdown,
Mhm.
some friends came here. Eventually, you know, like training.
Yeah.
I remember that we were prepping a bikini girl,
Mhm.
and so she was coming like a few days, especially for doing legs.
Yeah.
Like not
But
again.
otherwise, no.
Yeah.
Did you guys get any like back equipment? Because I was thinking when I ended up getting a few things as well, and it's funny because my gym actually went out of business a month before the lockdown and they were selling everything and they had a lying leg press, a Paramount leg press that
Hmm.
I have a torn meniscus in my knee and I was doing the leg press for physical therapy and my PT was like if you can have access to a lying leg press. And I was like, oh, my gym has one. And then they shut down. And I went to the gym owner and I was like, I need to buy that from you because I don't know any other gyms that have it.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, $1,200. And I was like, I'll give you $300 and I'll move it. And he was like, okay. So like, so
Good
I have
deal.
this leg press in my living room because I don't have anywhere else to put it. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it was like so great. But I was like, I would do anything for a lat pull down because it like bands suck for doing
Yeah.
you can't do any type of pull down movement without a cable or a machine or anything. All you can do is like deadlifts or dumbbell rows. And yeah. So did you get any back equipment too?
Yeah. We have all equipment, shoulders, we have shoulders, chest, for back. Yeah, I have
You
like
just, you're set.
doing, yeah, we're doing like everything. Yeah, like I have hammer strength, ISO.
The isolateral. Yeah, that's my
7.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite one is one from Nautilus.
Yeah.
Nautilus, you know, like
Mhm.
I don't know the names. I just don't know the names. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh no, it's
It's a plate loaded and you do like this. I love that one.
yeah, with the pronated grip. That's
Yeah.
my
But
yeah.
I don't know the name of the machine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really funny that you say the things and I think about what I like to connect with. I had someone on Instagram just ask me like what would you do to have a better lat connection? Like some sort of like pre, whatever activation or whatever. And I was thinking that isolateral movement when you have the pronated grip and you kind of lean into it and you get the
Yeah.
stretch this way, like I feel like I was like, you don't need to do anything prior to that. You just warm up and
Warm
naturally.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I do. Warm up.
Yeah. So it's almost like exercise selection is really important. I think people do stuff because they see other people doing it and don't think about what's connecting with the muscle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think like sometimes people are too focused like in I don't say that exactly for women, but like weight, and not the form. And
Yeah.
forget the form. I think it's one thing. And another thing, like people get bored, and they want to change, keep changing the training. And I said, come on, I've been training the same thing for years.
Yeah.
You need to, if you keep changing, how do you know if you're progressing or not? Like because you're progressing like a little bit of weights or more reps or less rest or whatever, but if you keep changing the exercise, how do you know?
Yeah. Well, and people, they switch things up, like you said, because they get bored. And then there's, you're kind of sore all the time because you're constantly changing. And then again, you don't create that adaptation because you're constantly, people use the wrong things to measure what a good workout is: sweating, soreness,
Yeah.
how heavy,
Yeah.
heavier and heavier. And you see these full body thrusts trying to lift weight and then wonder why their joints are sore and their muscles aren't growing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting. Um, well, it sounds like you have such a cool setup.
Yeah, I have it.
You're like, I got it. I got it. That's awesome. So there was no issue with you training during the pandemic. So you were just probably watching to see when they were going to have the Olympia, right? Because that kept changing also.
Yeah, like last year I started prepping in February, planning to do a show end of May, maybe June.
Okay.
Then closed everything and starting like
Yep.
rescheduling all the shows or canceling. And I was like waiting to see what show is gonna happen or not.
Yeah.
Then finally I did Omaha and then
Yep.
Tampa.
Okay.
And then I was just waiting for the Olympia.
Did
Uh,
you, how did that turn out? What happened? What was your placing in Omaha?
Second,
Okay. Who won that one? Do you know?
Brittany, I forgot her last name. Brittany, mm, I forgot her last name.
I don't, I'd have to look. I don't know, but she wasn't at the Olympia, or was she in the
Yeah,
Olympia?
she was.
But you
Uh,
beat her.
yeah, I don't know where's her placement at the Olympia.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know if she was top 10. I don't know.
Okay. So
Um,
one.
yeah, but she won Omaha. At Omaha,
Yeah.
um, the the head judge told me like, we are looking now for you. That he told me that I was a little bit too hard, and they are looking for a look a little bit softer for the for the division.
Okay. Still conditioning. Okay.
Like, no. Said okay, thank you. All
Right.
right, thank you. But like when you see, like if you see Natalia or Sarah or even Shanique, not 2020 but 2019,
Yeah.
they were all really ripped, with the glutes like,
Yeah. Hard. Yeah.
yeah. So I said, okay, that's okay. And then 2 weeks later, I did Tampa and I won Tampa.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't change anything.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I think what
but
people don't
for
understand.
me, for me
Oh, yeah.
personally, it was much better winning Tampa than Omaha.
Okay.
It's a bigger show.
Yeah.
Um, So for me, I went to Olympia like more confident, like
Yeah.
people knowing me more and better because
Yeah.
I went Tampa.
Yeah.
So it was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like you said, because yeah, because I don't even remember who won Omaha, but in Tampa it is a much bigger show. Um, I was gonna say, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
people don't always unfortunately, if you have two women's physique competitors and one is harder, the person who is more conditioned will usually win. So it doesn't make sense to be softer, because if you're softer, somebody comes in harder than you, you're not going to win. So
Yeah.
unless everybody came in softer and you had similar conditioning to choose from, but otherwise the person who is most conditioned is going to win. So it really, it's a risk to try to
Yeah.
lose some of that
Yeah,
condition.
that's why it's important, like for us, like planning the show, knowing the judges that
Yeah.
are gonna be there, because then we kind of know what what judges want, like for the division. So
Yeah.
it's good.
So what was your stage weight for this past year then?
144.
144. So you've put on like 20 pounds in the last
Yeah.
5 years, 6 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome, with consistency, not changing things up.
No, no. Like sometimes my husband says like, oh, we should like let me video your training and then you put on Instagram and say, oh my gosh, but it's always the same training. Like it's always the same thing, but
Right.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why people don't they don't think about that's what works, because they, if you have somebody like you not posting the things that are the same all the time, but you have somebody else posting a different workout every day, then they're going to use that information. So I mean, I think it's good to be like, hey, this is the same thing. Look, I progressed. I went up 2.5 pounds, on my hip thrust or whatever it was, or slowed the tempo down. That's how I, make it more difficult for me and how I progress. But that that's the problem with social media is there's not a background to what you're seeing. So
Yeah.
you don't really know. But that's really good. So let's talk about your training a little bit. What does a weekly split look like, or are you on a rotation? Um,
For now,
mhm.
I just changed it a little bit. Like I used to train a lot,
Yeah.
like 6 times a week. And then
Like
last
how many-
year, 6 times,
Okay.
usually just resting on Sundays.
Yeah.
But then my body was feeling
Yeah.
because I train really hard and heavy. Like, so last year we changed it, like training 3 days on, one off.
Yeah.
And that was great.
Okay.
Um, Now I started doing like three, I do like, let me guess. Okay,
Uh-huh.
hams and glutes on Monday.
Uh-huh.
Then on Tuesdays I do no, I do chest, lateral shoulders, and triceps. On Wednesday, lats and biceps. Then rest.
Okay.
Then quads.
Yeah.
Then rest.
Yes.
And lats again. Um, and I'm trying to see how it goes. I usually don't like to train like chest and shoulders together, but I'm trying
Okay.
to see how it goes because the feedback that I got from Sandy, it was don't change anything on upper body, nothing,
Yeah.
no more size, no less size or conditioning on nothing, just don't change nothing. So I don't know. I think for me it's harder than if she asked me to get like more shoulders.
Right? That sort of maintenance. I
Yeah.
know um it reminds me of how, like, I remember I talked to Juliana at the New York Pro in like 2013, and she had come down to do women's physique, and she said training was really interesting because it was a lot of lightweight high reps because she was trying to lose muscle to fit into the division. And I think that's not bodybuilding. That's not what the goal
Yeah.
is to make, you want to build. So, yeah, so now it's like tweaking little things, right? So do
Yeah.
you think they want you to bring up your legs a little bit? Is that kind of,
Yeah. A little bit of sweep quads
mhm.
and more cuts.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Wow. Well,
And like because I thought that I was figure and I would like to have like small legs.
yeah.
I stopped training legs for a while at
Okay.
the time. So now I'm struggling to get like bigger legs again. So
The
yeah,
leg back. Well,
yeah,
sometimes it benefits you because trying to grow everything all at once is a lot. And if you cut back on your legs, you brought your back up tremendously. Like it is thick and full. Like it looks so great. I think maybe, I wouldn't say you didn't do the wrong thing. It's an experiment,
yeah, no, yeah, I know. It's because I love training back
Yeah.
and shoulders. You can tell, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it's just easy for me. Like for now, it's gonna be like harder than I can really go like that heavy with volume and everything. How I like to train, like I just need to be careful to not go too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the rest days though are really smart, especially in your off season when you're trying to grow, having more rest days and allowing yourself to recover a little bit more. Um, I think that's great. So yeah, we'll see how it
Yeah.
out for you. Be good. So, what is the plan for this year?
I was waiting to see the final date for the Olympia.
Mhm.
And then in March, they said like it's going to be March. No, I think it was February. They said it's going to be October. So then now I'm waiting to see how my body goes, like how my physique goes. And then I decide if I'm going to do or not another show.
Okay.
I don't need to, but
Right.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But like, it's hard. Like for me now, it's not worth it to do Tampa, for example, because like Tampa is gonna be August. Then it's
Yeah.
too far from Olympia.
Yeah.
It would be better having doing a show like closer to Olympia, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just waiting to see.
This is the first year that you get to ride it out if you want to. I mean, some people don't know this, but if you qualify top 5, you don't have to do a qualifying show. You're just automatically requalified for the Olympia. So it may be just a time to try to bring up what you're supposed to and then, you know, ride it out. So
Yeah.
it'll be good. Very exciting. I mean, the lineup for the Olympia this year was a lot of new faces. I think people that were trying to get there, and um, it's been interesting. There's been a lot of shifting in women's physique over the last couple of years. People that you see are just, I think about like Jamie Pinder was there, and then she's, now she's working on other things and
Yeah.
has a couple of injuries. I know that she's nursing. So, yeah, you've been injury free so far for the most part. I feel like
um,
on one.
let's say nothing that bad that I
Yeah.
can deal with,
Yeah.
like, but it's always something.
Yeah. There's always
Yeah.
the nagging, the,
Yeah.
the little things. Yeah. It's what happens. I remember a couple of years ago, I had a herniated, I had a low back pain, and I ended up getting an MRI, and the neurologist said, um, "Who's to say if we have our hobbies that we love, and they cause wear and tear on our bodies, and but if you removed them, then something else would take its place." So he's like, you got to do what you love. There's consequences to, like he said, he's like, my niece does softball and she has shoulder issues, and he's like, and I do golf and I've had some other, so it's like whatever you fall in love with, that repetitive motion, whatever it is going to cause some sort of injury or whatever. And, you know,
I think in all kind of sports, when you go with performance, like not just fun, and when you go it's win.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think that's awesome that it sounds like you have a good trainer too.
Yeah.
Helping you. Yeah, so that's good. And a good support system. Did your kids go to the Olympia?
I know.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, it was kind of crazy this year.
Yeah. Um we are not planning to take them to Vegas because it's not worth, like just staying in a hotel and
Yeah. And you're so busy, you have to be
yeah.
on everything. That would be a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when they move it for here for Orlando,
Yeah.
like right here, so to close like 15-20 minutes from my house. Um, I stay at the hotel just by myself, just to be there, tanning and meeting and everything. And my husband stay with them here at home. And
Perfect.
then the tickets are expensive.
Yeah.
And like for them, it's like, oh, okay, when mom is gonna go there? Because it's not like they don't like it, really like it, they
Yeah,
don't enjoy watching the whole show. So
yeah,
they just watch it from the pay-per-view, and
yeah.
that
Well,
was great.
that was like I purchased the pay-per-view this past year, and it was, I think with everything being so shut down, it almost felt like an event to almost felt like going. It's been a while since I actually been to the Olympia or watched the whole thing. And so much of the the pictures and the lineups and stuff are on social media, but it was really fun watching the live stream. And I feel like sometimes it's better, like being there is awesome because it's the event, but you can see it better from the live stream.
No, the live stream was amazing. Like my whole family watched it from Brazil.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
was really, really nice.
Yeah. So that's really cool. Well, it'll be exciting. I like I said, there's been consistent blocks with women's physique, and then you get a whole new lineup of people. So, oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. What place did you get in 2019 at the Olympia?
15th.
From 15th to 5th. Was there a huge like has the so you put on about 20 pounds in 5 years. Was it consistent, or did you have like some major physique changes that happened from 2019
Yeah,
to
no,
2020?
it was like it's been coming, like I remember my first show, I was about 123, 125, and then I remember I did I think my first pro show
Mhm.
that was Europa, Orlando here.
Yeah.
That I was 130, I think 129, 130.
Okay.
And then uh, I think Olympia 2019, I was 138. Not sure, but I think it was 138. So,
Yeah, that was a
wow.
pretty decent jump.
Yeah.
What was, do you know what was different? Was something different about that year, or just you just kind of go and then how you come on stage is how you come on stage, right? You just kind of progress and
You say like from the Olympia 2019 for this year?
yeah.
Difference? Um,
Do you like um do you have like some sort, because you can't really control how much weight that you're putting on. So it's just kind of a process of watching it, and however much you put on that year is how much you put on that year, basically, right? It's not like you're
yeah,
expecting another 5 pounds, or it's not exact, right? There's no,
no, yeah, no. I just like I think as we go
yeah,
and we know how your body works better, like so what type of foods works better and what type of training works better. So I think that's it. I just kept training and like giving like everything that I have, the training and eating, because people think that, oh, but you don't eat that, you can't eat that. No, I eat a lot. You don't know. I eat a lot.
is it mostly, so in your off season, is it mostly like clean food meals, or are you adding in cheat meal type stuff as well? Like more, I don't want to like exactly label foods, but what is does your diet just look like the same as it does for prep except more, or is there other things as well?
No, there's few things like that are different, like more fruits now,
Mhm.
like yogurt. I'm having yogurt now, and I think it's a little bit more flexible.
Sure.
But like the base is the same, like chicken, turkey, fish, rice, cream rice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not and like for example, for Tampa,
Yeah.
we didn't change anything, even the day show. I
Oh,
was eating like my for Tampa and for Olympia, I was eating like fish and rice at the backstage.
yeah.
So I
And
just eat my same food like always.
okay. That's really interesting. All right. So, so do you enjoy any type of like junk food too, or is it yeah?
Yeah, this part is really hard. I love pizza.
You oh really?
Yeah, love pizza. It's my favorite. Like, oh my gosh. Usually when like I have my last free meal
Uh-huh.
or really start prepping,
Yeah.
is pizza. And my first free meal is pizza again. Because I love pizza. Because even like when I'm prepping, um, I can sometimes I do like a refeed with sushi, for example. I love sushi.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not like nothing fried or
Right.
we need to count the pieces that I have, but anyway, it's sushi, so it's good. But not never I'm gonna do a refeed with pizza.
Right.
So, but I love like it's really I don't know if it's good or bad, but I can eat like almost everything. I love like even I love pizza,
Yeah.
but I love zucchini or asparagus. I love all kind of food. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's
Probably.
good. You probably don't ever feel deprived or like you're like on a diet either. So,
Yeah, no.
yeah. Yeah. I think it sounds like what you're saying is like, especially over the last years, you probably got more, just more learning your body and then more consistent with everything. Like you said, training harder and really fine tuning all this stuff. The more, I bet, the more that you get into it and the more you realize what you have to do, you have to be more detailed with things as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, well, it's going to be really exciting to see you up there. I don't want to call out the judges on placings, but I could have seen you as being like third or something. It's tough because um I think Natalia has changed her physique a lot. She comes in looking different almost every year, and you don't always know what to expect with her physique, but she's always very hard. So and a very beautiful physique. So it'll I mean, and now with Shanique out of the running, I guess we'll see kind of what happens. So
Mm.
yeah, and there'll be a new person up there as well. But you know, you just keep climbing. Like what a huge jump from the year before. You must have been thrilled.
Yeah. Like I remember after the 2019 Olympia,
Mhm.
I remember talking with my husband and I told him like, okay, so I'm gonna qualify again
Yeah.
and I want to be top 10 because at that time I didn't even go to the finals. I just watched the finals
Sure.
because I wasn't in top 10. And I
Yeah.
told him like, okay, I want to be in top 10 because I want to go to the finals. I want to be on the big stage. But then when the prep was coming, and then I noticed that I felt really good. Like I knew that. And when I won Tampa, I told him, okay, I think I can be top 5.
Yeah.
So I've been working for that to be top 5, not top 10 anymore. I want to be top 5. And that's why I was so happy because a lot of people ask me, oh, but oh, congratulations, but you look so happy. You really enjoy it to be there. Yeah, yes, I was happy. That was my goal. So I was really, really happy for sure.
Yeah, no, that's it would be really great to see, see you up there again with, it'll be interesting, a closer comparison with, Sarah and Natalia and Barbara, of course. So
Yeah.
yeah, very exciting, very exciting. And and with you, if you don't do another show, then you have a little bit of a break as well to just really focus on those improvements. And so very nice. And
Yeah, that
it
happened.
sounds like, I mean, and the Olympia's in Florida again this year. So um, that's nice for you also.
Oh, much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
No traveling, no planes, no like long staying in hotels. Like, yeah.
Did you notice that does the weather, because like um Vegas is so dry. So did that affect your, like, the day of the show? Did you notice that was different, or the traveling? Traveling affects things as well,
Because like in 2019, the Olympia was in September.
right?
So I remember it was still hot in Vegas. And that thing that we used to be in a hotel in one place, and then the expo in another place, and then the finals. So it was hard, like
Yeah,
taking the
stressful.
shuttle or taking the car to go to the expo for the prejudging and get back, and then finals at the hotel again. So and here it was in December, and it was cold. What's weird because it's never cold in Florida, so it's really on the I think the one of the mm, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks of cold in Florida, and that was on that one of them, but it was okay. But it was everything on the same place, and this is so much easier for us.
Yeah,
Um, I, I like to do a show when the weather is cold. I don't know. I think it's
yeah,
better than when it's hot, like sweating and you
yeah,
feel like the tanning, like look, the
yeah,
mat, you know. So I like it that it was cold.
yeah. Yeah, I remember, I think John Jewett was saying that on one of his videos, that he hoped that they continue to do the Olympia in Florida, um, for a lot of those same reasons. It just was easier to travel, easier going from hotels to the venue, all that stuff. Because, yeah, I remember that too, even just watching the show, then having to take a taxi to, it's just like all over
And
the place.
and like we usually take families with us, like most of the athletes.
Yeah,
So and then when we go to Vegas, like if we have kids, like they can do anything there.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
staying at the hotel. So here we have like entertainment for the whole family.
yeah,
Just just not just going watch the Olympia. Of course, it's the main thing, but
yeah. Yeah, much more family friendly. Go to Disney after.
yeah.
So, well, that's awesome. Well, Evie, thank you so much for your time. This was really, really great. It was really great talking to you and getting to meet you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I really like, uh, like having like someone talk with about the female, divisions, like all of us, because we know most of the podcasts and channels talk about the guys,
Yeah,
and it's nice. It's
yeah.
good.
I think that that was the goal, was to highlight, because the more I meet these athletes, the pro athletes in the bodybuilding industry, it's like there's whole people behind them that, and like you said, there's so many podcasts and YouTube channels about what the guys are doing, and people need to know what the women are doing too, especially with like social media. You don't always see what some of the top athletes in the industry are doing. And so, yeah, the goal is to just kind of highlight the women, because they're so, it's so great. Like, I just think it's so awesome. So yeah, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. And we're all going to be rooting for you. And yeah, if people don't follow you already, they should. What's your Instagram so that they can find you?
Ivie Rhein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ivie Rhein. Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else that you wanted to promote, or, oh, I was going to ask you. So, what do you do for work? Do you have, or don't you have to work? You take care of your kids.
No, no, no. I'm a nutritionist.
What are you?
Nutritionist.
Oh, you're a nutritionist. Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. So,
Yeah.
do you do online coaching as well?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
so
My
how would
husband and
people?
I, we work together because he's a trainer. Yeah.
That's perfect. Perfect. So if people wanted to look to you for coaching, would they contact you on Instagram, or do you have email or website that you prefer?
Um, they can contact me through Instagram, and my email is ivyrhine@gmail.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, do you have a few minutes to do some like rapid fire questions so we can
Yeah.
there's no,
Okay.
everybody thinks it's like a test. It's not a
All
test.
right. Yeah. Okay.
So this is a question that I just added. It's actually one of my favorites because I'm a big fan of like just knowing about people and stuff like that. So do you have siblings, and where are you in that order of your siblings?
I'm the oldest one, and I have a brother.
Okay. All right. I feel like um there's certain people that like, so youngest kids of, they often get into bodybuilding because it's a little bit obscure, but the oldest do as well. And you tend to do really well because you're like very meticulous about stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So what kind of do you prefer, country music or rock music?
Rock music.
Music. Um, podcasts or YouTube?
Podcast.
Podcasts. What are some of the podcasts that you listen to, that you like to listen to?
Oh, I'm listening some of from Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, that I like it. And like I don't know. I forgot I don't know the names. I'm sorry. There's a guy that forward.
Oh, Fuad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love his podcast. He's always with Jan and like Nick Walker, and it's fun. I love it.
Yes, I like listening to them as well, for sure. So
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Dogs or cats?
dogs.
Do you have any pets? No. No.
No, it's just too much, for me.
Yeah.
Two kids, house, prepping,
Yeah.
working. Uh-uh. No, no, not now.
I got you. Baby animals or baby humans?
Baby humans.
Yes.
I miss baby humans.
Isn't it? It's crazy how quickly your kids grow up, you know?
My daughter just turned 16. It's
My
like,
Mine will be
how?
16 in September. Yes. Yeah. So I know, and you think about when they were so tiny. That's awesome. Let's see, heels or sneakers?
Sneakers for sure.
Yeah. 24/7. Go, go,
Yeah.
go. Hike a mountain or swim in an oasis?
Swim.
Yeah.
No, wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Do you
swim.
have anything like that in Brazil? Like oasis? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Even if
Yeah.
it's not necessarily safe always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it's funny because I was born in Mexico and I think that too, like it's so beautiful there, but yeah, I would struggle. That was the reason why my parents moved back to the States was because they were raising children and it was like either we're gonna have to kind of struggle here with this or we're gonna go back to where it was safe. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Well, we know the answer, but burgers, pizza, or sushi?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Pizza,
Um,
pizza, pizza.
and you said this too, but what's your favorite part to train? Is it back?
Back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always like I always feel like if I had time off or I was sick, it's always the go-to start. Like just start with back. You don't have to think about it too much.
Yeah.
Um, who inspires you or motivates you? Or two different people.
Yeah, let me see. Um, I have a few athletes
Mhm.
that I look, like not just as an athlete, like competing, the placing, but the whole thing, how um, how the career,
Yeah.
overall career, like
Yeah.
I like Danielle Bailey
Yes, for
and
sure.
Flex Lewis, Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
I think the way that they promote, the bodybuilding, like it's amazing. I love it. And of course, Juliana is the queen,
She,
4 times Olympia, my favorite physique and everything.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. I know we talked about this a little bit prior to starting how I just think it's really important because the sport is so misunderstood to have great representatives like the people that you mentioned that are just beautiful people, successful in their businesses with their families and yeah,
yeah,
for sure. But I would have to agree that Juliana is probably my favorite women's physique. She just
yeah, she's beautiful. She's feminine, the flow, like her lines, like everything. She's like, okay, we go.
that's the gold standard. I know it would be so great if I'd love to have her on to talk to her about just, because I think she's retired now at this point, but women's physique has gotten so the conditioning is tough. And I think that is what has caused different women to say, I'm not going to do this anymore because I can't. I know from it's the hardest part. The building the muscle is the fun part. the,
Yeah,
the conditioning is difficult. It's very hard. So,
yeah, it's hard.
yeah. So cool. Kudos to you. um all right. So, what's your favorite thing about social media?
Oh, favorite thing. This is hard, right?
What's your least favorite thing about social media?
Release. I think like people are so, um, they think that can say like
Yeah,
anything, like no matter what.
yeah,
So
for
they are
sure.
so courageous, behind the screen, saying things that they will never tell you, like if they're in front of you.
Yeah,
Like they're
that
rude, they are disrespectful. So
yeah,
I think it's the hardest part.
yeah,
But yeah, I think the favorite thing, like, is the opportunity, to talk and know and meet people like around the world.
yeah, absolutely.
I think it's the best thing. Yeah.
Yeah. it's tough to take the, like you said, you can either, because like if you don't put yourself out there, then you don't get any of the criticism, but you don't get to share your story either. So
Yeah.
there's like, either you're really brave, or you're like, you said, like you have no courage. I mean, it's courageous to be a troll, but yeah, or you're
But
like, but
I,
they don't
I think
say
I
anything.
think that okay, I don't do this to be loved, to be I don't want people look at me and say, oh my gosh, look how beautiful she is. Oh, I would like to be like her. No, that's not the point. But
Yeah,
just fact, like it's my body, my choice, my life.
yeah,
And I really don't care if you think I'm beautiful or not. It's not my thing. It's not what I want. I don't care.
right,
So,
right.
and sometimes people are so disrespectful, like I don't get it because um I don't go to the other people and say, oh, look, I think you are drinking too much beer because look at your belly. Oh, you were chubby. Oh, you don't have it. I don't care. So why people think that they can do that in my page?
Yeah, yeah, I know. I always take it a step further too, because I think I'm like, wow, there's a lot of really unhappy people in the world. You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you saw that I posted a video, I think last week, that I was walking in the gym and my husband recorded me in the back, and I didn't even know that he was doing that. And that video go all around the world. Everybody was reposting, and a lot of like comments, bad comments, really, really bad. And a guy from Brazil reposted, and then he shut down the comments.
Yeah,
And I direct messaged him and he said, oh, no, don't do that. I really don't care. I'm not offended. Don't worry. It says more about them than about me. I'm not doing that to be like loved.
yeah,
I don't care. Let them tell what they want. I don't care. Don't worry. Not because of me.
yeah.
So
Well, and like you said, then they permanently are putting what type of person they are on by writing whatever they're writing. John Meadows always, he said his favorite quote is one by Aristotle, and it says, "The only way to avoid criticism is to do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing." And that's, I mean, usually what you get with these people, they have private accounts, they have not posted anything of their lives, sometimes not even a profile picture, and and then they're making comments about
yeah,
your life. It's like, I always think, gosh, it's funny that I don't even know who you are and you went out of your way to tell me you don't like me. Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, sometimes the guys comment something like, "Oh, you are not attractive," and I said, "Okay." I look at your pictures, you're not attractive at all. Good, win-win.
right. Mutual.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't like you either.
Right, right. I know. It's so funny. Like, it's so weird, but I do love, like I said, like I never would have been connected with you if it wasn't for social
Yeah,
media. So you got to take the bad with the good. But yeah,
yeah,
it's so interesting that people just, it's like, oh, okay. Like if you were at the grocery store and somebody would just be like, "You're ugly," you'd be like, "Who are
yeah.
you?"
What?
So weird. Um, all right. So, who would you, if you were to nominate somebody to be on the podcast, who would you like to hear her story of? Somebody's story. I didn't word that well, but
Uh,
is there
hmm,
anybody that you can think of?
as I told you, I really like Olivia.
Yeah. Yeah, she was on a few weeks ago. If you get a chance to backtrack and take a look.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, really beautiful
Um,
person.
I really like Michaela.
Yes, I asked Michaela and she said she's very busy with the cows right now.
Yeah. Yeah, she's always busy with the cows.
Yeah. So I'll push for her again and see if I can get an hour of her time. She is an incredible person
My
also.
hardest work in
Yeah,
the room, always, for sure. We did legs together twice, and she's like,
brutal,
yeah, I really like it.
brutal. I bet. Oh, and she's in Florida too, isn't
Yeah,
she? Does she
yeah.
live near you?
About an hour,
Okay.
yeah, driving.
Yeah. You invite her to your private gym.
Yeah, she came here and we did legs twice.
Oh, wow. That would be a dream. That would be so cool. So cool. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, awesome. Okay. Well, Evie, I again, I really appreciate your time. It was truly a pleasure. So, thank
Thank you. Thank you again for having me.
you.
I love it. It's amazing what you're doing.
Thanks.
And thank you.
Thanks. All right. Well, I guess I will say that thanks everyone for watching and listening to another episode of the Women's Maximum Fitness Podcast. And to remember that healthy looks different on everybody, and to find Evie on Instagram. And you can also find me, Buffcake22, and the podcast is at Women's Maximum Fitness. So have a great day.
Right.